Hello and good evening, boxing fans here from Indianapolis, Indiana, at the La Flaca at the Square venue here in Indianapolis, joined by retired two-time world champion Showtime Shawn Porter. Tonight it is the return of the Midwest Boxing Showcase here in the hometown of the man of which this company was founded, Layman Brewster, one of the few American heavyweight champions this millennium. And Sean, Roger Mayweather once famously said that all the best fighters come from the Midwest, and he may have been referencing places more like Ohio, where you come from, and Michigan, but Indiana, no doubt, is in the Midwest. Why do you think it was he said that, and what are you expecting tonight, in particular from the return of Austin Manning, 8-0 in the headliner? Yeah.
In trying to get into his head, I'll even go as far as to say he was probably talking only about Grand Rapids, only about Flint, only about Detroit. But I'm sure he didn't forget Cleveland. He didn't forget Cincinnati and some of the other states. But when you talk about Indianapolis, Indiana, and Chicago, all of us collectively, I think the number one thing we do is scrap. We get right to it. And, of course, we do have a good sense of boxing, a good sense of where we are in the ring. So when you put all that together, a lot of talent comes out of the Midwest because we're going up against great talent all the time.
One thing I've heard about Midwest fighters is growing up in a place where there's not always a lot of action, like on the coast, fight night is their time to shine. Fight night is their time to show some expressive,ness and some flair and some personality and to entertain. Do you find that to be true from your experience as a Midwest fighter?
I've always felt that about myself. It's one thing to do it in the gym. You've seen me in the gym. Not a lot of good days in the gym, but on fight night was always something different, and very well could have come from the fact that growing up, again, you're going up against so many heavy hitters in the gym, you finally get to actually go 100% against someone that you don't know or that you're not close to. And, when those lights come on and it's go time, there's that extra added energy of now I can really show everybody what I'm about. And I think that's why that's something else that makes us, unique and special.
Now, your first 13 fights of your career, you had to fight all those fights in 3 states such as Missouri, Tennessee, Maryland, before getting to the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York. You had to fight in smaller shows and everything like that. How important is this stage of a fighter's career? And in that stage of your career, which is where our fighters are right now, what do you have to show? What are you looking to prove?
Right, I mean, let's go back to a statement somebody made to me. You guys have seen me on Fox, you've seen me on The Zone, you've seen me on some of the biggest cards you could be on, one could be on. And someone said to me not too long ago, I see you everywhere. You're on the big shows, you're on the small shows. Is there anything you won't do? And I said, well, I am selective, but I do believe that boxing needs to be everywhere, and that's why I'm going everywhere. I'm trying to really just pull boxing and everything that I do and really make it, bring a bigger awareness to the sport. So then now you fast forward to us being here in Indianapolis on the PorterWay Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing, all that good stuff. And here's an instance where Mr. Lamont wanted a network to be involved, but he couldn't get the big network that he wanted. And he said, you know what, let's flip the script. Shawn, don't you got 100,000 followers on your podcast? Yeah, he said, let's just do this on your podcast. I won't sell the rights anywhere else. We'll do it on your podcast. And what the hope is that people that never get an opportunity to see 1-0, 2-0, that's where I was once upon a time ago. You never saw that. You know, you don't see a lot of us. It's changed a little bit now, but you wouldn't see us until we're 15, 20-0. And, now we're making it available. We're making it possible for these young kids who some of them are debuting today, some just 1-0, 2-0 today, giving them an opportunity to be seen in an instance where, you just normally wouldn't, So that's why the podcast is here. That's why you and I are here, and we're looking forward to the action.
You're seeing how the cake is made as opposed to it being a finished product.
Yeah.
And that is just as important as getting to that finished product. Let me ask you this, Shawn. There's one set of anxiety and nerves a fighter must overcome on the championship level, fighting before big crowds in Las Vegas and those other places we mentioned.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's another set of anxiety fighting in smaller shows like this, where this can be, without the glitz and glamour, just as brutal, if not more brutal, than that stage of boxing. You're still in danger of getting knocked out cold and all the dangers that come with this sport. What kind of nerves is there when you're in the back of a dressing room like these fighters are tonight?
I'm going to say I'm definitely the exception of that. Okay. Someone asked me one time, I was early in my career, fighting on maybe ESPN or Showbox, and the question was, how does it feel to fight on TV? So many people watching you. Do you get nervous? And all those kinds of stuff. So I don't know that they're watching me. I don't know who's watching. I'm in front of the people that are here, and that's all that matters. But I will say this. Once Showtime and B-Side showed up, everybody's eyes are a little wider now. Everybody's like, oh, they actually did show up. So there could be the anxieties of just knowing that the moment that I always wanted is finally here. And sometimes it may give you some jitters, may bubble you up a little bit on the inside. But more times than not, most fighters always say this, when that bell rings and it's go time, ain't no turning back.
Austin Manning is our headliner tonight. We're going to start with Luis Garcia first and foremost, the 20-year-old featherweight. But Austin Manning will be headlining here from the state of Indiana, 8-0, 5 knockouts, sparred with a lot of fighters in the Ohio area that you're familiar with, trained with Mike Stafford, rest in peace to Mike Stafford, but trained and sparred with Gervonta Davis, with Leo Santa Cruz. He told us yesterday that, and we will touch on this as we go on in the broadcast closer to his fight, but he told us he's looking to see what he has himself in a very vulnerable and honest moment with us. What did you take away from that, and what do you expect from him against a fighter with almost 100 fights, about 84 professional fights from Jonathan Perez, who, even though he's not on a winning streak right now, is a big puncher with 33 knockouts. What are you looking to see from Austin Manning?
What I liked about the young man is just that right there, the humility that he showed. Just speaking to us, very open, very candid about his personal life and a lot of things that have gone on. He's been out of the ring for about six years.
Right before the pandemic was his last bout.
And so for me, it was like, okay, you kind of made your exit at 5-0, and, you're back after 6 years. And he said exactly what I hoped he would say. I just want to see what I got. He knows that he's not getting in the ring with someone who's an hellacious puncher or, amazing talent or anything like that. He knows this is an opportunity for me to get my feet wet. But upon getting my feet wet, how comfortable do I feel now in the water? So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
There is professional boxing abound throughout the country right now, in Fenway Park, tonight here, everywhere. How often do you think you come away from cards like these finding diamonds in the rough?
The next.
Talent, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
The next. We might see something. We got a couple of trips here in Indianapolis, maybe even Houston. We're coming back in August. We're coming back in October. And I believe we're coming back in November as well. And so you guys will have the opportunity to see some of these fighters once again, twice again, see them grow. And I think after, maybe not tonight, but maybe October, maybe November, we'll definitely know if there's a diamond in the rough.
Well, Frank Martin was a diamond in the rough, who came from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Actually trained alongside two of the fighters we have tonight in Luis Garcia and in Francisco Torres. So he was able to make it all the way from Indiana to the bright lights of Las Vegas to fight Gervonta Davis, headline a pay-per-view. So you never really know what you're going to get from these cards. We saw Shockey Foster last week, who had 2 losses early in his career, wasn't really fighting on television a whole lot, and now climbed to really the elite ranks of boxing right now. So you really never know, do you, Shawn?
I can't say you never really know, but I mean, you know when you see it. We'll see what we got tonight. You know, again, some of these guys are young. We haven't seen them yet. I'm looking forward to seeing what Austin's got in our main event. He's got a good experienced man in front of him with almost like 85 fights or something like that. So we're bound to see something tonight, but just how great the talent is, we'll check back in with you at the end of the show.
Yes, sir.
I think we're going to probably be walking the first bout, so we should probably sit down, get that light off of us, sir. We'll have a seat, and we'll get this thing rocking.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CHAMPS.
All right, so for our lead-in bout.
Here at the La Placa. If you would please, all rise for the Star Spangled Banner. Good evening, once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in Indianapolis for CHAMPS Promotions and with Boxing Showtime here at the La Placa on the Square. Before we get started, tonight's these bouts are under the statutes and rules of the athletic division of the Indiana Games. Your director is Brenagh. Your commissioner, representative at ringside, is Shawn Porter. Your inspector tonight is Hafey. Your inspector is Zittel, and your inspector is tonight's officials are referee Spivey, your referee Team Gray, your judge Nathan Palmer, your judge David Bennett, and your judge Andrew Moore. And your timekeeper is Zittel, and your next tonight's position is Dr. Bruce Hurts. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first round of the evening? This first round of the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds to the featherweight battle. Introducing making his way to the ring out of Shawn Porter, John Washington.
Washington, one for Luis Garcia tonight, wearing a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers shirt, Shawn.
I'm not mad at that, man. I remember when the Power Rangers first dropped back in the early 90s. You weren't even thought of it.
No, I was there. And I was the Red Ranger guy, and I believe you were Black Ranger guy.
No, what?
You told me that before.
I never told you that.
You did.
No, I never told you that.
Well, then reveal which one was your guy.
I didn't have a guy. I think maybe the Red Ranger. Everybody loved the White Ranger once he came, you know?
Yeah. Green Ranger.
Huh?
Green Ranger.
Oh, he was the Green Ranger.
Making his way to the ring, out of the red corner, Luis Garcia.
And now here comes Luis Garcia, our youngest fighter on the card tonight at just 20 years old, 1-0, 1 knockout. Luis wanted to start boxing after he saw Ryan Garcia knock out Romero Duno on that Canelo Kovalev card, November 2019. I was at that card covering Shawn. So he, no relation to Ryan Garcia, but that is the fight that inspired him to start boxing.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. He told a story about really wanting to fight box after seeing Ryan Garcia, but for me, it was also a testimony to what boxing is. Even to young people, it can still intrigue and pull in a young audience if it's done correctly.
Was there a fighter that grabbed you in that way and made you want to fight that much more? I know it was really your father who pushed you into the sport first, but did any guy incentivize you to chase after
all the young guys, man? I'm gonna go real quick, but like the Darrell brothers, Slick Rick, Ricky Williams, of course Kiki McPherson, you know, all those young guys that were amateurs, no pros though.
And now, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it is a featherweight bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, today he stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs in at 125 pounds. He is a comeback fighter with 1 professional bout. And he is sporting number 8 fighting out of town from Michigan. Let's make some noise for And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the right corner, today he stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs in at 127 pounds. He has a record of 156 and 1 KO. He is dominating the Black and White Folks. Fighting out El Indiana. Let's make some noise for
is in good shape for this fight, Shawn.
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, obviously young, very ambitious about his career. So he came in here and, like he said, told us he's this ain't gonna be long.
Yeah, he said he expects to get a knockout, 2-time Golden Glove state champion, about 30 or so amateur fights, and also used to play some basketball as well. Sparred both Francisco Torres, who's on this card, and Frank Martin, who we mentioned earlier, to open up. We go round 1, and Garcia, the southpaw, starting off with the lead hand a little bit low there. What does that tell you? Well, a good straight left hand landed there a minute ago, but when a fighter's comfortable coming out with the lead hand a little bit low, Shawn, what does that tell you, if anything?
For me, that's his style. He likes to punch. He likes to fight with that lead hand low. But I will say this, you know, he's quick, he's fast, much quicker and faster than Washington there. But Washington very inexperienced. Can't get hit with anything what we would call dumb.
Well, he's already been hit with a couple of straight left hands right down the pipe by Garcia.
But his return, see, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Garcia has to be aware of the return. Nice combination, but that right there, good. He kept his hands up. I want to see him turn more opposed to walking straight back.
Now that lead hand gets down to around his hip. Almost a headbutt there. And a right hand getting in a little bit there for Washington.
Yeah.
He reached in with that left hand. Now he switches orthodox, so you see this a lot more often in boxing today from Javon Ennis, O'Shaquie Foster, Terrence Crawford, recently retired. You wonder if their influence is making a lot of young guys do that more often than you used to see in decades past. Landed a good body shot a minute ago, or a second ago, in that orthodox stance.
Right. And very beneficial, even though it's only a 4-rounder for Garcia to go to the body.
Sweeps the right hand, brings the left hook to the body twice. I don't think Washington liked that.
I like that. Garcia, he threw those body shots. And
Leads
he got
with
low again. Good hook, good.
Good hooks to the body right now after leading with the right hand. Seems to have Washington uncomfortable. Washington has to tie him up, get himself back to the center of the ring. Nice left hook to the body. That hurt. And he might be on his way down early.
Yeah.
More left hooks to the body. Sweeping right hand to the body. Left hook up top. And now Garcia playing with his food a little bit. Having fun in there. Gets underneath the shot. Comes back with a left hook. Brings the combination up top to set up 2 more hard body shots. And more right uppercuts with him on the ropes. Follows him out the back door with a straight right hand. Gets back to the body again.
I think a punch needs to come now. That ref should be stopping this fight now.
Another left hook to the body, and there it was. It was a matter of time that time. Tall, slender abdomen on Washington, and Garcia targeted it often and early. How do you want to see him finish, Shawn? Combinations?
I want to see him stay under control, go back to the body, and just finish this fight. There it is.
There it is, and that's going to do it, I think. Regardless if he gets up or not.
He will get up.
And he does make it out of the first round. So Luis Garcia starts off the round southpaw, lands a couple of straight left hands, but finds more success switching orthodox there. And really found a home for that left hook to the body, and Washington had no defense for it. You know, even given his experience level.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't sure if there was a rhyme and reason to the switch, but he stayed there, which let me know he's comfortable being orthodox as well as being a southpaw. Here's the replay. Here's the body shots. The body working and the awareness of knowing to go to the body. Wasn't hard. That long torso is not hard to find. That one right there. Beautiful slip and counter to the body. I actually thought the ref might come in much sooner than he did, and I'm surprised the ref didn't come in and stop this fight, but I think it was a good decision for him not to stop it. 2 body shots that put down Washington that first round. We'll see what happens in the second.
Round 2, here we go. Let's see what stance, and he starts off orthodox. Puts the jab out there to get started. Makes Washington fall short with the right hand, hits him with his own right hand.
Nice right hand.
Stalking Washington. Good slips off that jab, touches the body again with the right hand.
Call me crazy, but Garcia seems warmed up now. You know?
Got him cornered again, chopping right hand, left hook to the body. And Washington just out of his element, out of his depth against Luis Garcia. Another left hook to the body. That one sits him through the ropes a little bit there. Corner of Garcia saying in and out. Bang, bang. That's going to do it. Luis Garcia showing some promise there, Shawn. And interestingly enough, talking to him in the pre-fight, given his age, given that he did have 30 or so amateur fights, given that he's the youngest fighter on this card, and you can see he's in good shape, I suspected he might have been the fighter with the most promise, potentially, we were going to see tonight.
Let's be honest, he was much better than Shawn. You know, that was, in a lot of ways, a mismatch. But, like you always say, he didn't play with his food, came in here, did what he had to do. Looked pretty sharp doing it in the first round. Looked much sharper in the second round.
Yeah.
Came out with rhyme and reason. Knew he had to get to the body, obviously. Came out orthodox. He had that success in that second round, that first round. And orthodox, stay with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, one of the things I always say about success is consistency. One thing you want to see early on in the fighter's career is consistency. So, just in 2 fights, right here specifically this one, saw consistency, saw a great approach coming from Garcia. Pretty good punch selection from Garcia, and he was able to find the right punches. We get back to the body work here.
There it is again, right underneath the elbow.
Yeah.
Tall body, big target, easy target tonight.
And look at this. I think that was the one that ended the fight, right?
chopping right hand right there, back to the body. Mixed in the right uppercut a few times, so
Right.
a little bit of punch variety there.
Right.
It really
work.
seemed like he picked it up once he switched orthodox.
Yeah. And he seems comfortable and confident, too.
Yeah.
You know, those are two other, words I can use to really describe Garcia. Again, just 2-0, but like you said, we're looking for the diamonds in the rough. And if anything, we're scraping off some of the dirt, finding the diamond right here in this young man.
Yeah, he'll eventually obviously need better and better opposition than what he was in tonight. But 2-0, 2 knockouts, dispatching of John Washington quickly is exactly what this assignment called for, and it's exactly what he did. So
shout out to Brian Westner. I mean, he was really tuned in to this one right here.
he said coming into us that even though he was inspired by Ryan Garcia to start fighting, that he doesn't really fight like Ryan Garcia, but it was a left hook. It was the left hook that got it done for him.
What went well for you tonight? Once I touched that body, and you had a great first round. What was your approach going in round 2? I really realized that I went against the job, did my punches.
Now I do. Now I do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your next fight? Our next bout is the 4th round. It is a welterweight bout. Introducing first, making his way to the ring,
Surprised to get Puerto Rico versus Cuba in Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis. A lot of Latino talent tonight. Isler Fernandez, 29-year-old Cuban, fought Ocelis Iglesias right now, the undefeated IBF super middleweight champion. Fought him twice in Cuba, Shawn. But making his debut in Indiana. Made a joke a moment ago about you didn't expect Puerto Rico versus Cuba in Indiana, but more and more Cuban fighters are defecting to different parts of the United States, not just Florida now. You saw David Morrell come up in Minnesota, Isler Fernandez now coming up in Indiana. So more and more, they're going to other places throughout the region.
Right.
Big middleweight.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the talent can't exist in Indiana, Minnesota, those regions. However, notoriously, when you want to grow, you usually go to a bigger state, LA, Vegas.
He has a professional record of 1 win, 1 Olympics. Tonight he is calling over at the Blue Fox. He is fighting out in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's make some noise for Wesley Lopez. The card, the winning card is 23.
Not coming in apparently with a B-side kind of mentality. But Fernandez is the favorite. He is the more decorated amateur. Again, having fought Ocelis Iglesias twice in the amateurs in Cuba, the now undefeated IBF super middleweight champion, and the taller man coming in good shape against Edwin Romero Sevilla. And we'll see what we get here in round one.
Told this is gonna be the fight of the night, and I'm told that by the man that's putting on the card. So see what happens.
Now, we also heard Romero Sevilla not coming in with an opponent's mind state, and you saw that at the face-off, and you see it with him working his jab up and down early on.
Also saw it after the ring walk. Just watching him move back and forth in his corner. It looked like I really want this fight to start. I want to show what I have.
And a little bit, loosened up early on compared to Fernandez, keeping it tight, keeping his gloves up, but you see a little bit more pre-punch motion, a little bit more movement in round one from Romero Sevilla. There's the double jab, though, as Fernandez looks to walk him down in round one, patiently, as you'd expect from a Cuban fighter.
Is that one of the Achilles heels of the Cuban fighters, or was one of the Achilles heels of the Cuban fighters?
I don't think so much patience. I think the Achilles heel is not being able to maintain, not being able to pick up the gears and losing gears, downshifting as fights go in to deeper and deeper waters.
Right.
Usually they start hot. What you see from Fernandez here is actually starting patient.
Right.
And looking to double up his jab and walk down Sevilla and take some of that gusto out of him that he's coming into this fight with. That's a good combination, though, by Sevilla, mixing up a left hook, right hand in the body.
And again, just
double
winning
jab
this,
in the chest.
And just winning this round based off of activity.
Yeah.
Not necessarily landing more or anything like that, but clearly punching more, and the work rate overall for Sevilla is much higher right now than Fernandez.
But Fernandez is perhaps looking to speed him up, make him burn his legs up, make him throw shots, and then eventually just walk him down with patience and timing.
Well, I hope they told him it's a 4-round fight.
That's true. Oh, good right hand by Sevilla right there.
Nice right hand, set up by the movement, Once I plant and let go.
And more little upper body movements from him, too, as well as the feet working for him as well.
Yeah. I was told this was going to be the fight of the night, so if anything, you got a Fernandez corner after one round saying, hey, we got to pick it up. And I think if more is thrown at Sevilla, we might see more talent from Sevilla.
Sevilla not letting him find the range on his jab early on. There's a hard jab by Fernandez right there. Sevilla mixing up the direction, Shawn, not going one direction in round one.
Seeing the shorter guy move, I'm in favor of that.
Solid combination by Fernandez at the bell, although it was all blocked. But I think you'd have to give that first round to Romero Sevilla.
Absolutely. I think, again, just the work rate, the activity, the movement. He was the ring general, in my opinion, even though he was moving a lot. He was dictating where he moved, not Fernandez.
That is one of the favorite words in the lexicon for Shawn Porter. Who is the dictator?
Yeah. I think that you really got to show that you're the boss. Right there at the end of a round, it's just not enough. Especially when it doesn't land clean for you to still around.
to be that Fernandez, in addition to what Romero-Sevilla was doing, was tight for his first professional round?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that I think would be a nightmare for you. You know, you're a little anxious, and then you got somebody as active as Sevilla in front of you. It only makes it tougher. But we see two good, strong jabs coming out from Fernandez much earlier in the second round.
Yeah, he's very composed on the front foot, and we'll just see if he can find his accuracy behind his jab a little bit more on the front foot coming to start this second round. And if Romero-Sevilla can sustain what he was doing in round one.
It's a 4-round fight. How could you not?
You've seen it.
I mean, I've seen it when someone's getting hit and they don't have the ability to keep up that work rate. Nice, set up that nice little overhand right there. He just missed it. Fernandez coincidentally moved in as soon as he threw that, but a good punch coming from Sevilla. And 100%, Shawn, yes, favoritism coming from me right now. 100%. Good body work and the tie-up. Come on now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm rooting for Sevilla.
Fernandez seemingly trying to just figure out what's in front of him there. There's a left hook to the body in between his punches off the 1-2, but
just saw the 1-2 twice, and that right hand right there, he's got a funky right hand coming from him. I've saw that's 3 right hands now. That right hand is coming off the elbow, not very straight, and it's hooking motion. Yeah, very stiff. That right hand is questionable. That's for damn sure.
But he is finding him a little bit more now, picking it up a little bit. That left hook was partially blocked, partially on the top of Fernandez's head. But you do see Fernandez starting to loosen up a little bit, let go of more shots. That's a
nice
lead right hand. Yep, by Romero-Sevilla.
Nice right hand coming from Sevilla.
A little bit of a counter right hand over the top of the jab, but can't find the body, gets tied up. And in a 4-round fight, you wonder how quickly frustration can set in. You come in, made him fall short of the left hook right there, though.
Wow, a lot of speed on that hook too.
But Fernandez is keeping his distance.
Listen, I hate to sound, I don't even know how I sound. I'm just saying he's not from the Cuban school that I'm aware of. And I can see that because he doesn't have an offensive arsenal at all. You know, his punch selection is bottom tier. He doesn't know his range. He can't find Sevilla. There's a puzzle coming from Sevilla, but it's a puzzle that Fernandez should not be struggling with. And I say should not because of the reputation of Cuban fighters.
Well, Dennis Ugas is a guy who stayed in front of you as a Cuban fighter.
One more time?
Dennis Ugas is a little bit the exception to the rule with that. He stayed in front of you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always get this confused, so I don't know the region that Ugas is from, but he's from a different part of Cuba where the traditional movers, boxers, a lot of speed and quickness. He's from that region where they they implement more power, more sit down on the shots. Yeah, which is why, late in his career, he was able to be successful because he had a style that was more beneficial to being a professional. Here's his right hand. Here's his right hand that came from Sevilla. That's that overhand right. Very quick shot that comes over that jab hand. Another combination coming from Sevilla that round. All right. There's another right hand right there. That was the one that I thought was the cleanest punch landed tonight.
So Sevilla could conceivably be up 2 rounds to nothing.
He is two rounds to nothing. Ooh, catching counter coming from Sevilla.
Oh, that's a good left hook.
Ooh.
Opening up.
If he wasn't slapping with the hook, he's got to turn that punch over, land it on the top of the glove, not the inside of the glove. That hook is a good punch for Sevilla. And then back to the movement.
Fluidity is just giving the stiffer Fernandez pause, but now he gets him on the ropes. Can't really find any success there on that sequence of punches. Short with the left uppercut. Good slips by Sevilla right now. Good catches on the ropes too, putting each glove up. Oh, big right hand by Edwin Sevilla, and he ducks underneath what's coming back. And that right hand you were talking about earlier from Fernandez, just not getting full extension on it, not getting full leverage on it, reaching for it, not looking comfortable.
He looks very...
Can't find the range with it.
Yeah, very robotic.
That little jab to the body throughout this fight has helped Edwin Sevilla, too.
Sure.
Sevilla moves out to his left.
I tell people, it's an off-rhythm punch. It's a punch that, it's a misdirection punch. A lot that goes into that straight jab that Sevilla's throwing and landing.
More leverage and conviction on the 2 body shots by Sevilla after covering up against 2 body shots against Fernandez. What does Fernandez got to do right now, Shawn, at this point?
He's been walking at Sevilla this entire fight. And, it's understandable because Sevilla has been on the move here and there. But I would prefer to see Fernandez get on his back foot for Sevilla to come at him and work that jab. The jab is good, clean, fast, strong. It's the right hand that he's having trouble with, and everything outside of the jab.
Is with a minute left in the 3rd round, when you might be down 2-0 on your way down to 3-0, is getting on the back foot. Is that the right adjustment?
I mean, honestly, it's not, but let's be honest. These guys are 4-round fighters. That is what you would call...
Right uppercut.
Yeah.
By Isla Fernandez.
That's advanced. And also, it's a 4-round fight, like you just said. So, is that the right move? Yes and no. No, because he's limited time. But yes, because you got to change the complexion of the fight.
Well, he did land a good right uppercut a moment ago. When he had Sevilla on the ropes, might have been smart to invest to the body.
Sure.
Could have tried to find...
Nice. Another overhand right there coming from Sevilla.
But from round 1, more movement, more upper body movement from Edwin Sevilla. And that has the Puerto Rican transplant in control of this fight, at least up 2-1, if not winning all 3 of these first 3 rounds.
He just came up into a hook right there. He helped Fernandez land a punch right there. He walked into that left. But outside of that, another round for Sevilla.
Here we go on the replays.
Nice
Left
hook right there.
Between shots, yep.
See that? You see the way Fernandez lets his hands go. He leaves himself wide open. That hook right there, overhand right there. And then here's the hook at the end of there it is, that overhand right. I like the intention, though, coming from Fernandez right there. He's trying to chase down Sevilla. He's trying to make this a fight. I just think he doesn't have the tools that he needs to beat Sevilla.
Also standing pretty straight up and being right there, not a lot of head movement, stiff in his stance.
Yeah.
And that lets the more flexible, the more dynamic tonight, Edwin Sevilla slip whatever's coming back and nail him with both the left hook and the right hand, and that's those sequences.
I'm being funny, but I think every fighter can't say they're from Cuba. Because, if you ain't from Cuba, he's not from Cuba. There's a difference.
Round 4 now, and they start off with an exchange. Sevilla dipping to the body with some more body work there.
That's hook
Steps
coming
off
from
the line
Sevilla.
to get away from a left hook. Now he moves over to his right. Gets his head low, changes levels with the combinations. Right hand to the body, left hook up top. And even when the eyes aren't on the target, at least he's moving his head. His head's getting off the line.
Nice hook. It swept right past Fernandez. Landed on the shoulder.
Moves out to his right. Back in the center of the ring is Sevilla. Gets countered by a right hand.
Wait a minute.
He is hurt. That was a right hand over the top of a lazy jab.
Why would Sevilla
manages to stay up?
Why would Fernandez stop?
Well, he got clinched for one, but he's still hurt. Fernandez follows Sevilla into the ropes. Sevilla has to clinch to get back to the center of the ring. And with the fight maybe won already, he is in danger of getting dropped this round and perhaps losing this fight. More combinations by Fernandez. Sevilla is keeping the hands up, ducks, slips a few shots, and ties up again. He's got over half a round to still get through this moment, Shawn.
Yeah, that right hand that landed right on the top of Sevilla's head. And that clearly was the soft spot. He's got some time. I think, like I was saying before, that punch selection, that toolbox isn't there enough for Fernandez. We'll see if he pulls something else out.
Well, this might have been a game plan that could work, slowly walking down Sevilla if he had more time, but he's got to make it happen right here in the fourth round.
Right. And I think as the clock ticks, Sevilla is starting to recover, which obviously is bad news for Fernandez.
Good right hand to the body by Fernandez out of that clinch. If Sevilla's going to fall into a clinch again, should Fernandez try that right uppercut?
Definitely.
Chopping right hand, sweeping right hand. Sevilla gets underneath it and ties up again. For a guy with one professional fight, he's showing when to clinch when he's hurt. Knowing how to do that.
Yeah.
It is conceivable that Fernandez could have pulled out a draw without getting a knockdown here. That second round was close.
Yeah. I did not think the second round was close. I haven't thought a round was close outside of this one. This is clearly a Fernandez round.
That was a good combination by Sevilla.
Interesting enough, though, when you talk about points, well, we'll talk about that when the fight ends.
Well, it looks like we're headed toward either 39-37 Edwin Sevilla. Maybe a draw was pulled out with this effort by Fernandez in the last round. Again, I think that's a game plan that could have worked with another 2-4 rounds for Fernandez.
Sure.
He was fighting like a guy who had more rounds to work with and not in a 4-rounder.
Right.
But Sevilla in those first 3 rounds with his movement, with his upper body movement.
I'm sure we'll get the right hand. There it is. It landed on the top of the head. It actually landed behind the head. Not intentional or anything like that. And like the ref did, you just got to keep going. We'll get a different angle of it. That right hand lands on the back of the head there, and that's what shook up Sevilla. Not a legal punch, but at the same time, you got hit. And Fernandez followed up. Did what he had to do. Just not enough clean offense coming from him. Couldn't really line up Sevilla for another big right hand. That right hand is different. And
well, a number of the shots, like in the second round, for example, for Sevilla, they actually landed on the shoulder. They would cuff him. He was getting walked down in spots. I'm just curious to see how maybe that second round was scored. Again, I think it's conceivable. You could wind up with a draw that has Shawn Porter shaking his head.
Real quick here, before we go to the decision, I wanted to know from you, when you see a fighter lose a round that way, would you have scored that round a 10-8 round for Fernandez?
Not quite. No,
okay,
not quite.
that was
Not
still
quite.
a 10-9 round for Fernandez.
And it wasn't pillar to post for nearly 3 minutes of the whole round. It was about the midway point, that second minute out of 3. First minute, last minute weren't as conclusive as that middle minute. And I think for a 10-8 round, the guy's got to be out on his feet multiple times.
Right.
He was shooken up by the right hand, resourceful enough to tie him up a number of times.
Right.
Even throw some shots down the stretch of the round. 10-9 round, by far the most conclusive round of the fight for either fighter, but perhaps not enough to actually make it up and salvage his pro debut.
Right. Well, it looks like the announcer has the scorecards, and let's see what this thing looks like.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecard. Test number 1 scored about 38-38. Test number 2 scored about 38-38. And just number 3 scored about 38-38. This now is a draw.
Shawn Porter, I tried to tell you, Now, you might be headed to a draw. That second round, I think, is what I'm sure if we saw the official scorecards, it was the second round that Sevilla didn't quite do enough to get it. He's getting walked down a little bit. He's clinching. Some judges look at things like that. Some of his shots, while they're befuddling him and throwing him off rhythm, they're not landing clean and on the mark. Maybe not enough to the judges to offset the front foot aggression of Isler Fernandez, who escapes with a draw.
You know,
escapes, but pounds out a draw in the fourth round.
You know, I'm standing here, I'm shaking my head in agreement, but I don't agree with shit you just said. That was a Sevilla fight. I just thought that he outworked, outpointed, outlanded the whole nine. To me, when a fight is swung, it's like a pendulum. When it's swung one way, you have to significantly change that thing. If you don't land anything significant enough in any round, you don't win that round to me. And so I had to fight, as you can see, 39 to whatever the rest of that is.
39-37. If anybody won this fight 39-37, it was Edwin Sevilla.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about the other side of boxing. When you are the perceived A side, the guy who's supposed to win, the guy who's the Cuban amateur making your pro debut against the guy who's 0-1, who lost the first professional fight, sometimes the guy in that position has to do something conclusive to beat the fighter that was supposed to win.
Yeah.
And that's why I anticipated that maybe you'd wind up with a draw.
Right, yeah. I mean, you're looking ahead a little better than I am. You know, I was, I got Sevilla pulled me over, man. I was all the way on his side for that fight. And, again, to see him moving the way that he was moving and being able to pull off being both a boxer move, but also aggressive when he wanted to be. I thought that he collectively put together the best work tonight. And we put together the best work. You're supposed to win.
Yeah, but I mean, even looking back to last week, O'Shaquie Foster versus Raymond Ford, knowing that Raymond Ford was with Matchroom, who has a closer allegiance for a longer time to a place like the Zone, I figured during the fight that you would get at least one scorecard that was closer than people thought the fight was, and you got one even scorecard in the O'Shaquie Foster-Ray Ford fight. And actually, Foster had to win the last 2 rounds of that fight to make sure he got out of there with a win and not a draw.
Yeah. Well, we welcome to the telecast now. We welcome Mr. Layman Brewster.
What's going on?
Hey, man, what you doing here?
Well, it's my hometown, man, and a little something that nobody knows. Ford Champs Promotion started in my mother's living room.
Yeah. Well, we got the full story last night. Yeah, we got the full story last night. I've never been to Indianapolis, nor has Shawn, so thank you for putting together Ford Champs Promotions and bringing us out here for this. It's been a treat for us so far. What can you tell us about Ford Champs? What can the boxing world expect to see from y'all?
Man, I'm just so proud of this promotional company because I told them, I said, man, when we start out, don't be afraid.
You play Bruce safe. Why is he playing this safe?
Man, the thing of it is that Damon and Lamont, Damon is my cousin, and we grew up together. His grandmother used to babysit me. His grandmother's my auntie. She passed away. Lamont, we played high school football together, all from 87 to 91, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he went to the military, did some tours over in Iraq and whatnot, and came back, was like, hey, man, I want to get into this boxing game. I said, well, you were the right person, man.
Layman, man, you were one of the few fighters from the United States who have actually held the world heavyweight title in this millennium, since the year 2000. How much pride did you feel you brought to the city of Indianapolis, being from here? And how much are you looking to discover more talent in the area like yourself? We have Frank Martin make it all the way to Las Vegas, fighting guys like Gervonta Davis coming out of Indiana. How much are you hoping to find some diamonds in the rough here in this region?
Can I turn my volume up just a little bit
you.
so I can hear you? All right. Yes, sir. Can you repeat what you said?
Now, Layman, you're one of the few fighters from the United States to hold the heavyweight title.
Yes, sir.
Since the new millennium, since 2000.
Yes, sir.
And it's crazy because standing next to you, you're almost my height. You're only 6
Yeah.
feet 6'1". You
Yeah.
knock out the all-time great
Vladimir Klitschko.
in
Yes,
Las
sir.
Vegas.
What?
Guys
Wait,
like Frank
you know, he's
Martin.
getting older, so he's shrinking now.
Is that true,
Well,
Layman?
I'll tell you like this. I've never seen an axe afraid of a tree.
Say what?
I've never seen an axe afraid of a tree. So
Like
everybody,
that.
so when people look at my size, I say, don't look at my size, look at my sharpness.
Yeah.
I cut like an axe, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's that whole relentless. I've seen lions take down the biggest of prey, you know what I mean? So I always thought of myself as a lion, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So that's where that whole relentless comes, because when I'm on you, I'm on you.
Yeah.
Like this man right here, he
yeah.
could have been named Relentless Shawn Porter or Shawn Relentless Porter because of his fighting style, man. Yeah, absolutely. Beast mode, baby. I say people like us, we represent an era of boxing that don't really exist anymore today. You know, just our work ethic, man. You know what I mean?
It was like I said to you, like we didn't play it safe. And
Right.
no disrespect to any
Yes, sir.
boxer now.
Yes, sir.
But the way they put together a fight to win ain't the way we put it
Come
together.
on, man, preach.
And I'm not taking no shots at anybody. But I feel like there needs to be more activity.
Yes, sir.
You know, that was one thing I really liked about that last fight that we just saw. I like a fighter that's active. I like
Yeah.
a fighter that's always
Yeah.
trying to create and be creative.
That's right.
And that was something my dad always yelled at me. Be creative, create something. You gotta create something. Feint, move, punch, feint, move, punch, you know what I mean? I'm gonna ask the question the same way that Shawn was asking and just put a little twist on it.
Okay.
When you became a world champion, being from Indianapolis, how received were you back here, back home, and how did that make you feel being a heavyweight world champion here in the newer millennium of the 2000s?
You know, man, to date, I'm Indiana's first and only world heavyweight champion, man. And it's crazy because when I look back, I say, wow, man, I just had a conviction in me to be a world champion. I didn't know when I left Indiana in '91 to go to California, I didn't know that I was going to be a heavyweight. But as I continued to eat, I just became. But the beautiful thing about it is that I was able to take the mindset and the skill set of a smaller fighter from a middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, small heavyweight, big heavyweight, but to take that mindset and to apply it into the ring against, as Muhammad Ali called them, the dinosaurs. You know, the fighters that think with their muscles. Vander Holyfield said, you may be bigger than me, you may be stronger than me, but you're not going to beat me unless you're smarter than me. And so I always looked at that like, okay, you know what? He may be bigger, but he's not going to be smarter than me. And so I always wanted to be smarter than my opponents. Even when I fought Vladimir Klitschko, people would have said it was suicide to walk in to a guy punching down with that kind of skill, that kind of strength. But I knew if I can get him into the deep water, I could drown him. So again, it was all about thinking. Like I say, don't come to my board unless you got chess pieces.
Right, I like that.
Today in the heavyweight division, not the biggest guy. We see that with Alexander Usyk today in the heavyweight division. Not the biggest guy, but beating the bigger guys. Who do you like watching in today's sport, Layman? Who do you like to tune into? I know you mentioned you feel this era misses something from the era you fought in, but who are some of the guys that do catch your eye in the sport fighting today?
Oh man, there's so many that I can actually point out, man. Usyk, Benavidez, guys, what is the Russian heavyweight? No, he's not even a heavyweight.
Beterbiev? Or
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many fighters, man, out there. What is the fighter from Houston?
It's not Shaki Foster, who just
Shakur,
fought last week. Shakur Stevenson,
yeah.
He's from Jersey,
I mean,
but trains in Houston.
Oh, where's he
Right.
from originally?
New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, Newark.
I didn't know. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I say, man, there's so many great fighters out there. You know, you can just pick and choose, if you will, man. Some fighters I'm looking at because of their footwork. Some of them I'm looking at because of their endurance. Some of them I'm looking at just because they're smart. Some of them I'm looking at just because they're tough, man. I mean, it just depends. I love boxing because of what it's done for my life. You know, it taught me discipline. It taught me so many things about life outside of the boxing ring, man. So when you talk about boxing, I can find something great about every fighter that I can say, whether it's a jab, whether it's his defense, whether it's his strength, his endurance, his will, determination. So I'm one of those fighters that, like Emmanuel Stewart told me, when I watch fights, I watch it without the volume.
That's what most real purists do, right? You got to turn off the noise.
Yes, sir.
You know, Frank Martin came from Indiana. He made it all the way to fight a Gervonta Davis in Las Vegas, fought in big fights in Las Vegas. Do you think the talent does exist out here that can break out like you did, like Tony Zale did a long time ago, like Frank Martin's been able to in recent years? And you feel these shows can facilitate that breakout? I
do, man. I do. The thing about the Midwest that I've come to find out, it's not the fighter, it's the trainers. And I say that because the Bible says the blind can't lead the blind.
Right.
So how can you lead someone somewhere you ain't never been?
Right.
But yet you do have fighters like Frank that have this natural God-given ability that they're that 1% that no matter who trains them, they're going to be great. You know, I say that about Mike Tyson.
Talent, athleticism.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it comes down to opportunity, comes down to training, and then at the same time, you got to be willing to put that work in. No struggle, no progress.
What should we expect moving forward with 4 champs? What should we expect? I think we're coming back out here in August.
Yes, sir. And so, man, what we're going to try to do is just continue to build. And what we really want to do is make a big name in the Midwest and get these fighters excited again, man, about fighting, you know, because when I left here, man, it was like the fights were just really slow. And then, like I said, the trainers, these guys are showing them things because I'm like, man, they've been watching Rocky. That ain't gonna work in the real
What do you think of the trademarks? Because when you're talking about great trainers, the great Roger Mayweather, he would say all the best fighters come from the Midwest. And he might have been talking specifically about his state of Michigan, but what's the trademarks of a Midwest fighter?
You know what, man? That's really hard to say. I would really have to think about that to give you a proper answer. But the Midwest had always produced great fighters. But like I said, now that the old trainers have died out, a lot of the core principles that fighters used to have, whereas you knew to work hard. You knew to put that work into the gym. If you thought your opponent was doing 3 rounds, you do 5. If you thought he ran 6, you ran 7. I don't know if that really exists anymore. I see a lot of these trainers that I feel like they're watching television, watching what other fighters are doing, trying to apply it to fighters who don't have the same mentality. Because boxing is a chess. It's a chess game. You know, I tell people there's no difference between life, chess, and boxing, except life is harder because you don't get to do it over.
And I was watching someone on Instagram earlier, and they were being taught the shoulder roll. Yeah. And I'm like, you can't teach the shoulder roll to someone who doesn't have the gift of being able to use the shoulder roll. To your point exactly, and again, not calling out anybody. No. And definitely the coaches as well, but it's more, you got to go and touch and feel in order to really learn this thing. You can't turn on a computer, you can't turn on a TV and think that you can become a coach overnight.
Exactly.
We see a lot of Indiana on this card moving forward. Are we going to see fighters from other regions on the cards?
Yeah, absolutely. And with your presence here, man, thank you, by the way. With your presence here, that gives us that spark we need to say, listen, look at what we're doing, bringing big people like you to the state of Indiana. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just going to excite these fighters. This is a great venue. Right. And, man, I just think it's just going to continue to just, you know, do what it's supposed to do.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a second.
I got to get one boxing nerd question.
We got one more nerd.
Because we're talking about you got to teach the shoulder roll. You got to work around a guy where the style makes sense for the attributes he's gifted as a fighter. Was one of your go-tos the slip counter? Was one of your go-tos the slip counter?
The slip, because I sparred with James Toney I sparred more rounds with James Toney than any fighter in my entire career. Like most people say, oh, we sparred 20, 30 rounds. maybe 100 rounds. I sparred thousands of rounds with James.
Man.
I'm serious.
In Los
I sparred with him
Angeles, was
so much. And Freddie Roach,
Yep.
wild card. Man, I sparred with this dude so much, I could close my eyes and I could tell you what he was going to throw, man. You know?
That's why they always hanging out together.
You gotta drop some of that footage on YouTube.
What's that?
You got any of that footage, you gotta drop it on YouTube.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
Thank you for saying that.
yes,
I'm definitely
yes.
going to do that.
Take it to the PorterWay.
Hey, Shawn, but listen, one thing I got to tell you, brother, I really appreciate you for the man that you are, not just in the ring, but out of the ring.
Yes, sir.
And I got a nickname for you, if you will.
Okay.
Have you ever watched that movie, The Five Deadly Venoms?
Of course I have.
So there was this dude on there, what was it, the Toad?
The Toad.
He was, this dude was in,
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen The Five Deadly Venoms?
I haven't seen the 5 heartbeats either.
Oh my God!
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
This dude is the Toad. He the baddest of them all,
Yeah,
man.
thank you,
He's
man.
smart. He can punch hard. He's invincible, man. And I just want to tell you, that's what I think of you,
That's
brother.
love, man.
Yeah.
So the Toad only had one weakness.
One weakness.
And no one could find his weakness.
Nobody.
So they could not hurt him. And again, like Lemon said, he was very, very smart, intelligent,
Yes, sir.
very calm to himself.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's funny, man. I saw that as a child.
That was my favorite
Shout out to
character,
my
man.
dad. We grew up on the Kung Fu movies,
Yes, sir.
and that was one we played over and over and over.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
he's got
man.
emanating off of him, though, Shawn,
Yeah.
right? That HBO glow.
Yeah.
That HBO
Yeah.
shine, man.
Yeah.
There'll never be another 8 years. So.
Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming over and
Thank you
stopping,
for having me.
coming over in for a second. Sorry, I know you just got here. Go relax, enjoy the night, and we'll
Thank
catch
you
up with
for
you on the
having
next
me, man.
one.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys
Thank you,
anytime,
champ.
man. God
Thank you,
bless
champ.
you, man.
God
Keep
bless.
going. Keep going, baby.
Thank you, brother.
So we had to fill some time. It looks like the announcer's getting in the ring right now. We had a situation with gloves, I think it was. But hopefully we're getting ready to roll. That was a good moment for us.
Yes. Hey, he knocked out a Ukrainian heavyweight champion, and you beat one in the amateurs.
Yeah.
In Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
And you guys both did that being a lot shorter than they are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
salute to you and Layman Brewster.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the Midwest Boxing Showcase by CHAMPS Promotion. So, Naptown, are you ready for your next bout? Our next bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it is a middleweight bout. Introducing first, making his way to the ring out of the blue corner. Let's make some noise for Solomon, the chosen one, Torres.
They both got the last name Torres. Be a little tricky here, but Salome Torres. Francisco Torres in the ring, 1-0, 1 knockout. Did a lot of sparring with Luis Garcia, like he told us yesterday after the weigh-ins. Both started in the gym in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Both did a good amount of sparring with Frank Martin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it is a middleweight bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Today this fighter stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 164 pounds. Tonight, this combat veteran has 10 professional bouts. He is donning the black and silver. He is fighting out of Hastings, Minnesota. Let's make some noise for Solomon, the chosen one, Torres. And now, his adversary today, he stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 160 pounds. He has a record of 1 win with no defeats and 1 KO. He is donning the black and yellow trunks. He is fighting out of Elkhart, Indiana. Let's make some noise for Francisco Ariel Sismas. Your referee in charge is Tony Gray.
Shawn, at first glance, neither fighter in great shape, but Francisco Torres, seemingly in better shape than Salome Torres. Is he going to want to target the body soon in this fight, much like we saw his sparring partner, Luis Garcia, who he came up with in the same gym in Fort Wayne?
He better watch his own body, right? He said he was smart, and he said this ain't going to last long. I was surprised to hear both those statements.
Starts off in a little bit of a shoulder roll look. Then he picks his gloves up. Salome Torres coming at him. Everything he's got in round 1. Little off kilter, but throwing everything at him. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, decent start to the round for him. But you can tell just from their stance, Francisco Torres, nice up jab right there. The more sophisticated fighter.
Nice overhand.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice right hand to that body. Off the jab, right hand up top, and down goes Salome Torres. Came out with some of that Peter McNeely and may have suffered the same fate as Peter McNeely did against Tyson, and that's a KO1 after coming out like a hurricane. Francisco Torres said it wouldn't last long. But you know what? He also said he felt his first knockout, the other guy flopped and took a dive. I don't think Salome Torres took a dive. I think he's genuinely shaken up and didn't take that right hand well.
I'm curious whether or not he's going to feel like this guy took a dive or not necessarily took a dive, but I just really want to hear what he has to say about this knockout right here. He told us yesterday it wasn't going to last long, and I'm just thinking, all right, you're a 1-0 guy. What do you know? So I asked him, just quizzing him, how's this going to end? He says, I'm smart. What? Wait a minute. Being smart doesn't add up to a knockout.
First round knockout.
Yeah, to a first. Yeah. But I saw it right there. It was right there. He picked his punches very carefully. He saw that right hand to the body. He threw it. It's nice and smooth. And then came over the top with the right hand. It was clean. And he weathered that little small storm that was in front of him. Again, stay smart, stay poised. And, that was a very clean, sharp, intentional punch.
Yes.
Also important to note that overhand right for a 1-0 guy was a very intentional, selective punch, and I like that.
Nice up jab a moment or two right before that, too.
Yeah.
So Francisco Torres, 2-0, 2 knockouts, 2 first-round knockouts. Probably got to get himself into better physical shape, can probably get down to 154 pounds. Shawn, would you like to see him get down into better shape? He showed some fluidity and some skill there at 24 years old.
Yeah.
Do you think he can get down to 154? Is he one of these guys who's good with a little bit of meat on him, a little bit of softness on him? Some guys operate well like that.
If I'm not mistaken, Lamont said that he wanted this kid to move down. Here's this overhand, man. It's just a clean, sweeping. It's an overhand, but it's also got a little bit of a hook on it. Yeah, it's more of a hook than an overhand, but just right there on the chin. That's that punch that we were talking about Antt
with 2 T's. That will be his signature punch. Antt with 2 T's in the building, throwing a nice little overhand. But back to your question, Lamont says that he wants him to work down to 150, maybe even 147. And it looks like he's got room, definitely, for 154 pounds. Obviously, discipline is at hand with making that kind of move.
Well, it's been a good night for him and his friend Luis Garcia. Both friends out of the same gym in Indiana.
Yeah.
Both get first-round knockouts. Both of Mexican descent, fighting here in the Midwest in Indiana.
Yeah.
Representing for them.
Yeah. Here comes the decision.
I think that was a legit KO1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think.
Probably a bad choice of words for me, right?
No, it's fair to question. Could he have gotten up? But I think whether he could have gotten up or not, he was indeed hurt.
Right.
It wasn't a flop like he
Right.
said his first opponent had.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the first round in 56 seconds by TKO. Out of the red corner, Francisco Cismas.
You know, I really wish I would have used the word hurricane, Shawn.
Why?
Because I wanted to say about Salome Torres, he came out like a hurricane, and so did Hurricane Peter McNeely in Tyson's first fight out of prison. That fight, I think, ended in 59. This was 56.
Francisco, very quick fight tonight. How'd you know it wouldn't last long?
He was swinging at me crazy. That's how I stayed cool, calm, collected, and I know I was going to get my back.
And what'd you use to set up that big knockout punch?
Right here to the body, and I brought it upstairs.
That was the first shot he landed of significant note. After that opening barrage by Salome Torres, he then stuck a right hand to the body. Actually landed an up jab, then found a right hand to the body. Then he brings that same punch up top, gets the knockout.
Yeah, we saw a big overhand right, hooking right that knocked out Torres over there. But some of the small subtle things that you're talking about, that the up jab, clean punch, the body shot, another clean punch, his punch selection, his poise, those were the things that impressed me about Torres. And again, Francisco Torres. And again, you're asking what about diamonds in the roughs. We got 2 kids right there at the same gym who show a lot of promise. Want to also shout out Dexter over there, jumping in the ring.
Dexter Smith getting in there. 17 years old, Dexter Smith.
Yeah.
Dexter, we got to give you some props, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys having a good time so far tonight?
I was not doing this at 17 years old. I was watching fights, but I was not interviewing fighters.
I was interested.
Yes.
I was very interested.
Promotions, the best of the Midwest. We still have 3 more exciting bouts scheduled. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the ring, Christopher Gunn.
That wasn't a particularly hard puzzle to solve, and that is perhaps why he solved it so quickly against 1 in 10 now, Salome Torres. But he solved it quickly nonetheless. Yeah. Christopher Gunn used to have hair longer than mine not too long ago.
Okay.
All right, the 23-year-old from Michigan. He tells us he's going to introduce Isaiah Johnson to boxing tonight, and he plans on using the jab. Sounds like he's going to try to fight like a Michigan fighter.
Yeah. We're looking at 1 in 9. And
well, 1 in 9 was Salome Torres last time
sorry.
up.
What's this kid's 0 in 2? Excuse me. 0 in 2. I knew he had an upside down record, but we're looking at 0 in 2. We'll see how it goes.
Isaiah Johnson.
Kid kind of looking like Gary Russell on the picture there. Yeah.
So Isaiah Johnson, 28 years old, from Fort Wayne, making his professional debut, a southpaw at that. This is our only fighter from the other side of the border, from Champaign, Illinois. But you know who else is coming over the border soon?
Who's that?
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That was big news to see, man.
It was big news.
Yeah.
It's a huge sports town.
Yeah.
The Pacers this time last year were in the finals.
Right.
It is the Knicks this year, up 2-0. But they will now be home to two professional football teams. The Indianapolis Colts, who play only about 15 minutes away from here. The Indiana Pacers, about 15 minutes away from here. And Caitlin Clark and the Fever.
Right. Reminds us of the Jets and the Giants, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Just like the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants don't actually play in New York.
Right.
Neither will the Chicago Bears play in Chicago soon.
Yeah.
So our second pro debut of the night.
Nice.
Yeah, Islier Fernandez and now Isaiah Johnson.
All right, boxing fans, this next bout is scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the super lightweight division. Our judges overseeing this bout are David Beck, Nathan Palmer, and Andrew Wolf. Our referee for this bout is Kurt Spivey. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first out of the blue corner. He comes to us tonight from Port Huron, Michigan. He weighed in tonight at 139 pounds, and tonight he wears the solid black trunks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christopher Lights Out 1. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, boxing out of the red corner, he comes to us tonight from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He weighed in tonight at 139.2 pounds. Tonight he wears the purple and black trunks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isaiah "The Bully" Johnson.
Isaiah the Bully Johnson, do you see any nerves from Christopher Gunn?
Chris, you know, he seemed excited yesterday when I saw him.
Does he seem as excited now?
He seems excited now.
Okay.
He does. But he also seems, you know, anxious.
Well, Chris Gunn might be feeling like he's fighting the easiest opponent of his career, at least on paper. Yes, he's 0-2, but it was against guys who were 5-0 and 7-0.
Chris has got some speed.
Taking a good left hook to the body there, though, along the ropes by Isaiah Johnson.
Southpaw, nice little jab right there from Chris.
Doesn't look settled in at all, though, Shawn.
No, no.
And that's why I asked you before the opening bell.
Yeah.
Does he seem nervous? Does it seem like nerves are getting the better of him? You see him letting that jab out there, but that chin up with the jab when he lets it go.
And he got caught with the jab because of that. But, yeah, you know, the sporadic movement, it works for you. It worked for the last kid until it didn't. You know, we'll see what Chris can do to sustain what he's doing now.
Johnson stalking him, coming forward, moving his head side to side a little bit. And the more settled down fighter is Isaiah the Bully Johnson early
Clearly,
on.
yeah.
Talks to him right there. There's a lead left hand for Chris Gunn. Moves out to his left. But not staying in the center of the ring off this movement, Shawn. Back very near the ropes, and that's usually not a good sign when you're trying to dictate off the movement, is it not?
Right. No, you're exactly right. And Isaiah right there landed a body shot while Chris was throwing a jab. And we saw a big deep breath right there coming from Christopher. So without a shadow of a doubt, he did feel that body shot.
Well, this kind of erratic energy and movement, it could burn him up quickly.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's finally starting to settle down. He's right in the middle of the ring. But the question is he settling down,
There's
or
a
is
nice straight
Isaiah
left hand.
forcing him to settle down? Funny enough, you talked about chins in the air. I feel like Isaiah's chin is pretty high up, too.
Never seen this brand of gloves Isaiah Johnson's wearing. There's a good left hook to the body, sweeping right hand to the body.
Those aren't winning gloves.
Nice right hand to the chest, left hook to the body.
Good body shot.
Targeting the taller Gunn to the midsection. Gunn moving out to his left, off with the jab there.
Oh, that's the fighter glove. You haven't seen that brand before? Fighter? He's called on that straight right to the body a couple of times.
It's that straight right hand up top. Gunn pulling straight out. Covers up on the ropes. Hard left hook to the body by Johnson. That was the best work this round for Johnson by either fighter, really was to the body.
Yeah.
Applying decent pressure there down the stretch of the first. Shakes his head. Doesn't seem like he liked the round, even though he won the round clearly. Why do you think that is?
He's probably shaking his head because this dude is all over the place, you know? He's got a target that is moving and moving a lot. And I think that, you know, it's going to take him a little more time than he expected coming in here to catch up to Christopher Gunn. Good round by both gentlemen. I think early on, controlled by Christopher Gunn, but later on in the round, right here, we see really good body work. And again, under control is Isaiah Johnson with his combinations. Nice sweeping right hand there. Here's that right hand you saw. Nope, we got one more coming. Here it is.
Leading with the right hand in a few of those 3-punch combinations and digging down with 2 bodies below. Another combination, 2-piece to the body, finishing up with a sweeping right hand up top. So using the right hand against the southpaw and targeting the body to go along with it.
The fundamentals of being an orthodox fighter fighting the southpaw.
Southpaw, yep. Let's see if Gunn can settle down a little bit. Not committing to those left hands. There's a good right hook for Chris Gunn, punching in combination, but he gets the get back right away, does Isaiah Johnson, punching with bad intentions along the ropes, getting to his body, and a tackle almost outside. That was on Johnson.
Yeah.
Getting a little too rough.
Yeah.
Referee might have to warn him for something there.
I don't even think he necessarily was trying to be rough right there, more so just trying to make sure he kept Christopher Gunn pinned right there, and, you know, things got a little out of control.
You got to do a little more sophisticated than that, though,
yeah,
do
sure.
you not? Yeah.
Sure. Debut.
Also maybe trying to be the bully, Isaiah the Bully Johnson. So,
there you go. There you go.
Lead right hand lands. Gunn shells up in the high guard, goes back to a shoulder roll. Johnson wisely going down to the body when he does that.
Well, I just found Isaiah Johnson's mama, and she's over there jumping up and down. So that's my baby. Let's see if we can get a shot at her as this fight continues on. Good body shot.
Gunn, the longer, he takes a deep breath after that, lowers that right elbow right down to the midsection after taking that.
Yeah.
Gunn can't establish his range. Despite all that movement, despite being a little taller, a little longer, can't stop Johnson from picking his spots to get him onto the ropes and land to the body, throwing combinations. And no power to really dissuade Johnson from not coming forward and not another left hook to the body. That's been his best punch in this fight.
My man is baking them ribs, ain't he?
Yep.
Gunn is hurt. But when people tune in when it comes to boxing, they want to see two people fight. And Christopher Gunn certainly not afraid to fight back.
Right there at that range, Gunn should be, but nothing there.
Yeah.
Gets hurt to the body.
He's hurt.
Nice right uppercut, yep. 2 body shots, brought the elbows to the midsection. And then Isaiah Johnson splits the guard with a right uppercut up the center, coming underneath. Good punch selection right there for Johnson.
Agreed. Good body shot, came right in, right back to the body.
Smothers him again, right uppercut, off the body shot. Same kind of setup by Isaiah Johnson. 5 seconds left. Johnson actually robbed the 5 seconds there at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, and also his corner said, you got 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That wasn't quite that. Not sure what happened there with the
They thought he had too much time, and people ringing the bell didn't give him enough time. Okay, never mind. We're hearing from the truck that our clock is more of an estimation.
Yeah,
so
you're robbing us.
Fall back on the ref. Fall back on the ref.
Robbing us. Go around.
To be fair to us, though, the corner was off by 10 seconds, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, over there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that second round there, we saw the bully become more of just that.
The bully.
Yeah.
Put him through the ropes.
Yeah.
Dropped him twice off the right uppercut.
Yeah.
Setting it up to the body. Forcing those elbows to come down. Did you like that setup, Shawn?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing what he needs to do. We already know, you know, you got to slow these fast guys down, you know, whether it's the foot speed or the hand speed, you got to slow them down. So going to the body, he's going to stay committed to the body with the straight right. And more than likely get him out going to the body. We'll see.
And Gunn just doesn't have solid mechanics, does he?
Yeah. You know, I shouted out Antt earlier, and I can't help but feel like if this were you in the actual fight.
What are you saying, Shawn?
If this were you
Yeah.
in the actual fight, you got enough to keep somebody off you?
I don't know. We would have to. There's only one way to find out. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Are you?
Shout out to Antt, man. It's time to spar again.
Gunn catching that sweeping right hand, finds himself on the ropes again. Resourceful enough to move his upper body around. Not a lot of rhyme or reason to it, but just trying to get out of dodge. Johnson, a few times in this fight, does that. He takes a deep breath, paces himself, and then picks his spot to step in like he does right there. 2, 3 left hooks to the body. Would you like to see more of the jab from Johnson?
Yeah, of course I want to see more of the jab from Johnson. You know, that sets everything up to me. You don't see any feints. You know, he is just walking down an opponent that he has the
that right hand of the body hurt Gunn again.
Absolutely.
2 more body shots, that'll do it.
Yeah.
It's the body work. It's been a lot of the body work tonight. You see the redness around the midsection of Chris Gunn.
Yeah.
Very tired, too.
Yeah.
And the kid came in shape.
Yeah.
You just take one look at him, but doesn't have the craft, doesn't have the
I hope he gets his whole check,
technique,
man.
and he's down again.
I hope he gets his whole check.
And that's it. He's had enough.
Man.
The body work more than anything. Not really able to control his distance, but Isaiah the Bully Johnson bullies Chris Gunn to win his pro debut by 3rd round stoppage.
Absolutely. You know, all of that. He is a bully. And more, the more that he needs is head movement. The more that he needs is a good jab.
The lead hand.
He's not going to be able to walk in on everybody.
No.
You know, tonight he had someone who was on the move. He had someone that didn't have enough pop to really, you know, get him to wake up. And but all that said, and also he needs better conditioning. You know, you want to bully somebody, you got to be ready to go all night.
All night.
That gas tank got to be full.
Because a fighter with Chris Gunn's dimensions, who knows how to use those dimensions, he would have to be a lot more consistent and a lot more sophisticated.
You can't help but feel like you're talking about yourself.
No.
Okay, you're not talking about.
No,
okay.
see, you think because it's a white kid in there that I'm now, you know, I'm identifying with who's in.
I mean, I didn't say that, but you know, at the same time, you're the one him coming out to the ring. You made a comparison. I can't make comparisons.
What was the comparison?
You said he had long hair like you.
That's right, I did say that. Right.
So you know, all night I've been feeling like I was watching Shawn Porter. Was that a B-side performance?
Look, Chris Gunn, unlike myself, had the gumption to enter the professional boxing ring tonight. So.
The gumption. Listen, this is what we expected tonight. We expected to see some, you know, lopsided fights.
Yeah.
We expected to see some action, some entertainment. You know, and I think to this point, the card is really delivering.
3 knockouts in 4 fights.
Yeah.
And a close fight between Islier Fernandez and Edwin Sevilla.
Yeah, and what we got tonight from the bully was a lot of body work, and walking down a Christopher Gunn who just didn't have enough strength to keep the bully off of him, and that uppercut right there, beautiful uppercut, and I think this is what ends the fight. That body shot, those 2 body shots right there, what ends the fight. And you know, like I said, I hope he gets his check. I looked over at his corner. They kept saying, get up, and he kept getting up, man. Hopefully they compensate this kid for going out there and putting forth the effort that he did.
You could tell he actually loves boxing, too.
Yeah.
He knew us right away, said hello to us, was excited just to be on a professional boxing card.
Yeah.
But right away, one thing he noted, even he just didn't ever look comfortable.
And clearly disappointed in himself right now. You can see that.
Let's give these 2 warriors another big round of applause. winner tonight by TKO out of the red corner, Isaiah the Bully Johnson.
I also think Isaiah Johnson has a weight or two he could go down.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps.
What's his weight at?
140.
What do you? Oh, okay. He weighed in at 140.
Yeah.
Are you looking? Yeah. I mean, you imagine with just the height alone that he should be able to you know, pull a little bit off of him and get to maybe 135. You like to see him at 130, huh?
Ideally 130.
Uh-huh.
But that's...
Are you looking at his body saying that's a 130 body, or are you looking at his height saying, you know, he just 130?
The height more than the body. It's not like he's out of shape by any means.
Here we go. We got Dexter. Here we go, Dexter. Click it. You got to turn it on.
Look at the lineup, though, on Dexter Smith.
Yeah. I peeked the lineup.
Isaiah, great match tonight. What was your key to victory?
If I'm being honest, I've been waiting for this moment for way too long. For this to be my first show, and for it to be such an event like this, I just want to put on the show. I want to show my ass and show everybody what to do. You understand?
In between the first and last round, did you have to make any mid-match adjustments in order to get the victory?
Well, I kept getting deeper in there. I was landing some big shots. I got a little overzealous. I had to check my coach a couple times. He told me to slow down, calm down, pace myself. And I paced myself and the knockout came. I was just too overzealous.
Said he showed his ass in there.
Did you say that?
As J-Rock once said, watch a young man show his ass out in public.
I didn't catch that.
2010 slang. I haven't heard that in a while. I always liked it, though. I always liked that
And again,
terminology.
ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Isaiah the Bully Johnson. And ladies and gentlemen, 2 more exciting bouts left tonight. Don't forget, we are live here in Indianapolis for CHAMPS Promotions Midwest Boxing Showcase here at the Square. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 more bouts left. So at this time, please welcome to the ring, Pablo Fernandez.
Are we on?
Polaco Fernandez coming to the ring from Mexico, Torito, meaning Little Bull, Sean.
A little
About a
what?
month ago, we had El Toro fight Jaime Munguia, Armando Resendiz the Bull.
Yeah.
This guy is the Little Bull. And about almost 40 professional fights, 37 of them, losing 24, winning 13 of them. You just wonder, has he come to win tonight as a co-main?
Right.
As opposed to being buried on a preliminary card? Has he come to win tonight? Got a lot more experience than Brandon the Beast Cheney. Brandon Cheney coming to the ring now, Sean. And from watching his tape, aggressive fighter, not too unlike we saw from Isaiah Johnson just now, or expect from Austin Manning in the main event. But a guy with some power, 5 knockouts and 5 wins, does have a draw on his record. But early in his career, against an overmatched Jay Clayton, did have a big right-hand knockout. Calls himself the Beast, Brandon the Beast Cheney. You just wonder again, is Pablo Fernandez, is he showing up to win, or is he showing up to lay down?
Yeah, I saw him at the weigh-in, Pablo, that is, and he seemed very mean, right? Seemed, you know, standoffish, and like I'm only here to do my work, you know, so hopefully he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first out of the blue corner. It comes to us tonight from Mexico. He weighed in at 152.2 pounds. Tonight he wears the black trunks trimmed in white. Ladies and gentlemen, us tonight from Champaign, Illinois. He weighed in at 154.6 pounds, and tonight he wears the blue and black trunks. He has a professional record of 5-0, and ladies and gentlemen, all 5 of those wins are by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Brenagh, the Beast Cheney.
Okay, Shawn, so massive apologies to the audience. This is the fighter, Brandon the Beast Cheney from Champaign, Illinois, not Isaiah Johnson. Apologies to Isaiah from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Got one fight ahead of ourselves there. So it is Brandon who's joining the Chicago Bears from coming over the border to Indiana.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Shawn. We all believe everything you say, all right? So you ain't never gotta check yourself. Ain't nobody gonna question you.
So Torito, you just want to know, does he come to win tonight? I've seen a lot of fighters over the years on many cards from Mexico with upside down records who have given huge problems to undefeated prospects. Big left hooks from Torito, missing both of them. Brandon Cheney trying to stay patient early on. Start with the jab. After Pablo Fernandez starts off the fight with 2 big lunging left hooks. Double jab now from Torito Fernandez. Back touches the ropes for the first time. Nice counter right uppercut there by Cheney. Actually gave him a step off. Took a step back. Let him come off the ropes and countered him with a right uppercut to the body there.
He just did this this shadow boxing action. Who do we see do that before actually releasing punches?
From Cheney, you mean?
Yeah.
Score, maybe?
Shakur, maybe?
Little probe, you mean?
Yeah,
Little probe.
yeah, but it was like a double jab right hand, but it was like a shadow boxing action more than it was.
Saw Amanda Serrano do that a lot in the 3rd fight with Katie Taylor. It didn't work.
Yeah, he said it didn't work.
Jab to the body knocks Torito Fernandez into the corner there. Yeah, and Cheney on tape, his best punch is his right hand. There it is right there. Right hand over the top with Polanco along the ropes. Fernandez moving over to his left, back touching the ropes again. Threatening with his right hand, keeping Cheney honest enough. Jab pops up his head. Nice combination by Cheney. I think that buzzed Torito
Definitely
Fernandez.
buzzed.
But a little bit of guile there from the 37-fight veteran, playing it off a little bit.
Maybe played it off well enough to really make Cheney think that he wasn't hurt.
Cheney leaving the lead hand by his hip, shoots up the jab, shoots it up again, pins Fernandez along the ropes. Fernandez gets himself off the ropes for a second, but back still near there. Circles to his left off the jab, moves to his right, pinned on the ropes again, ties Cheney up, gets back to the center of the ring. Cheney very patient in round 1, wins this round, but outside of that combination along the ropes, that right hand, left hook, just took his time a lot. Leads with the right hand of the body. It's underneath. Seems to have some respect for Fernandez.
I don't think that's respect for Fernandez. I think that's him kind of working how he works.
Yeah.
He's probably, what you would call methodical, because it looks like he's thinking a lot. Here's a clean right hand coming from Cheney right there. And I think we get another one right here. That right hand. That one, that's the one. That's the one. Excuse me, that's the one that hurt him. That's a double, almost a double right hand. I know that jab hand came back out, but he was, that jab is being thrown as like the measuring stick, as we would say, and then that right hand is the one that he's throwing with the intent to land. Those are good, clean shots coming from Cheney there. Yeah, I don't think that's respect. I think that's just
being methodical.
We're gonna work our way up to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Round 2, and again, Cheney's best punch always been his right hand. He was effective with the right hand in round 1. Could expect more of that from him in round 2.
Blanco came out in the first round with some fire. It dimmed out as the round, reared to the end, and then obviously we saw that right hand he got landed with, but I want to see Polanco's punch output get back where it was at the beginning of the first round.
He's giving some movement to Cheney, giving a long jab at times off that movement, mainly just going to his left.
Yeah.
He opened up with 2 left hooks in round 1, didn't really throw one after that.
Right.
Just fighting behind the jab, gliding around the ropes. They trade jabs that time. Cheney gets the better of it. There's a little left hook in between shots for Cheney. But it's the right hand. Nice double jab to the stomach from Brandon Cheney. Little defensive resourcefulness there from Fernandez.
Yeah.
And that's that 37 fight experience.
Yeah.
Right uppercut to the body for Cheney. Got underneath that double jab from Fernandez with that punch.
Nice little feints from both these guys. Kind of playing with the feints.
There you go, double it up with that right.
Some guys like Fernandez, they do.
Right there, uppercut.
With all those fights, they're cuties. They spoil you a little bit.
Cuties.
Nice jab by Brandon Cheney. Knocks him back. Short with the 1-2-1. Fernandez with a lot of face feints. Feinting with his expressions.
You see the eyebrows coming up, the eyes are opening a little bit, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I see it too. That's funny.
Back near the ropes again.
Stay with it. Stay with it.
Why is Cheney not finding a home for the right hand as much in round 2?
Yeah.
Why is he not? Is Fernandez anticipating it?
I say yeah because I'm like, yeah, why isn't he? Why isn't he following? I think that he's trying to land the perfect punch, I think. I think he's trying to land the perfect punch. I don't think he's, using both hands effectively. He's using the right hand. That's the only hand he's trying to be effective with or intentional with landing. He seems to me like he doesn't really know how to throw that jab and land it.
Or going to the body.
There's the right hand. There's the jab, and he landed it there. But then look at that. We get 2 touching jabs. No, let's continue.
Because he's looking for one thing behind it.
Yeah, let's continue to be consistent with landing that jab.
As a fighter, how do you take what the defense gives you? If Fernandez now is saying, I just don't want to get hit by that right hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to use enough movement, enough resourcefulness to not let Cheney land that right hand. Like you said, 2 hands, feint, work the jab more. But how do you see and execute what is there? If it's a body shot, if it's a left hook to the body, if it's combinations to set something up, how do you do that, Shawn?
We got some replays right here. I'm probably just going to talk over these. I didn't see anything significant that round for either guy.
That right uppercut to the body.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's landed that twice this fight.
But to the point of what you asked, you've heard me say this before, forcing the ref to do his job, right? Well, then you also got forcing your opponent to do his job. You force your opponent to fight back. Cut the ring off and don't allow your opponent to just continue to slide around. So now I think it's time for Cheney to step up another level, take this thing up another level. And how do you do that? By stepping over, by throwing more jabs to land them and landing with both hands, not just their right hand.
Yep. He starts off there, not conviction on that jab, but moving his upper body a little bit, still coming forward, overshoots that right hand again. And again, it looks like Fernandez is just trying to take that primary weapon away from him and make him discover something else.
Right. And I'm not mad at him.
No.
Pablo probably didn't expect to win, but upon not expecting to win, he wants to survive,
right?
And tactically, he's doing the right things that he needs to do to survive. It's Cheney's exactly. You got to take advantage. You got your opponent right there, back to the ropes. He's square. Make a move and keep going.
Well, he threw a left hook to the body first to set up that right hand. And you saw Fernandez look over at the ref, trying to say like the punch was borderline or something. So he didn't like that left hook to the body that set up the right hand.
Right.
We got a problem with the corner here. Blue corner falling off the straps. Fernandez professionally trying to survive.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
That's pretty much it. You know, we've seen this before on all levels, not just this level here, but on all levels, fighters get to a point where they just want to not look too bad.
And there's an art to that.
Yeah.
Moving over to the left, the occasional long jab to the head, to the body. Right there, he let go, and he got caught that time with a left hook from Chaney.
Yeah.
Actually upping the output a little bit there, planting his feet. Now he's back on his jab. Fernandez getting a little more offensive here. Not that effective, but in that spot, Chaney can't find a home for those combinations right there.
Right. I feel like Polanco's got more than he's showing. I think he can throw more. And, you know, we're seeing him throw a little bit more now. He's landing some. And I tell the fighters that I train, I tell, you know, the fighters that your offense is also your defense. You know, and Polanco believes in that offense. This might get a little bit more competitive. Shout out to the 330 watchers
Short
right
left
now.
hook gets in for Chaney, but actually a body shot by Fernandez gets home too.
Appreciate you guys tuning in at home. PorterWay
Knee
Podcast.
left hook caught, but a combination 1-2 right down the pipe splits the guard a little bit for Fernandez. 2 1-2s makes him clinch and get back to the center of the ring. There's a little bit of a feint there by Chaney to set that up.
Yeah.
Put his right hand to the side there, faked it a little bit, and then went to the body off of that. There's a better combination for Chaney.
But see, it's like he's smooth, but not, he ain't thumping. You know what I'm saying?
He's loosening up in those last 2 sequences, though.
Yeah.
There's a good jab.
But even upon loosening up, to me, he ain't thumping. Like, that was a thumping punch right there. He just missed it with that overhand, but it was more of a thumping punch.
Well, your dad used to talk about the second and third layer of punching and combinations.
Right.
Is that what he needs to execute there? You're missing your first layer.
Yeah.
Know that he's going to throw something back. Not a whole lot for you to punch off of, but he's going to throw something back just to keep you honest enough, just to survive. You got to expect that and get to your second and third layer of combinations.
Listen, to keep it plain and simple, it's the silent agreement. I know you're going to slide out. Okay, I'll catch up to you. I know you're going to slide out. Yeah, I know I'm going to catch up to you. Stop allowing your opponent to slide out. Take that step over and keep going. You know, to me, that's the simple way of saying the more complex things that my dad was always coaching. But to what you're saying, yeah, he's got to do more work. And, you know, like I said, that last round seems like the punch output increased, but it was like he was being more smooth, like he wants to look good. And my thing is, like, let's do what we need to do to win.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely doing enough to win. He's won every round, but are you doing enough to keep the knockouts going? You're 5-0, 5 knockouts. Can you get to 6-0, 6 knockouts? So at this pace, you're not going to.
Keep the knockouts going. You know, increase your fan base. You know, right now he's not winning anyone in here that doesn't know him. He's not getting them to get interested in him.
This right uppercut to the body's been effective in this fight in spots. He landed a couple right there off that combination.
Yeah. My dad would always say you got to punch through your opponent. And it seems to me like Chaney is just punching the touch, not punching the drive through, you know? See what I'm saying?
You know, in a sense, what's interesting, even though Chaney is the guy winning every round, winning the fight, clearly, it's Fernandez who's executing more of what he probably came to do.
That's funny.
More effectively than the guy who's beating him.
That's
which
funny.
Is, I came here to be resourceful, to survive like a veteran, to get out of Indiana unscathed.
Yeah.
And Chaney's the guy who came here to execute something spectacular, something to your point a moment ago, to get people to want to watch him again, another knockout. And he may still get it, but
not
thus
with
far,
those touching. He's just touching. And even to that right there, we took like 3 or 4 or 5 maybe touching punches. Barry Hunter would say, hey, touch, 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 and then explode. You know what I mean?
One of them.
Yeah, you got to sit on one of them.
But with the rhyme and reason of knowing where those touches are going to make him lead him. Yeah.
My bad.
No, exactly. He's better that you finish it than me. I do slightly disagree with you, though, that he is sitting down on some of these shots, no doubt about it.
Some of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I might not have got you out of there with all of them, but I was throwing with intentions to hurt with all of them, you know?
Sneaky little body shot by Fernandez, who gives just enough resistance.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there's an art to this, doing this as
I
a
was gonna
guy
say,
with upside-down record.
It's not complicated. It's just agitating.
But a guy like Chris Gunn didn't know how to do this, how to settle down and survive.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah. You see it, clear, subtle difference there.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Shout
a
out
little
to
feint from Fernandez. Take
Christopher.
a walk.
B-side gun in the last fight.
Chaney shortening up the combination a little bit there as Fernandez dipped down. Double left hook there. Did make Fernandez take a deep breath off that double left hook to the body, following up with a comment. Good jab by Chaney there. Solid defense at the bell. 4-0, no question about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 4-0. Brandon Chaney.
For sure. Okay, coach in the ring with the Cortez is on. Don't see those too much no more.
No.
Yeah.
That's good. I grew up around a lot of Cortez wearing people at Western High School in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Western.
Shout out to the dub.
And again, shout out to the 331 in this chat here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
That number's only gone up. So they are enjoying the fights, enjoying the commentary.
574 Fishing TV. Shout out. He said, I think he needs to stop looking for the perfect punch
That's what
and
Shawn
do what
said
he's
rounds ago.
starting to do now.
And yes, again, that was Isaiah Johnson from Fort Wayne. It is Brandon. Oh, Chaney, her with the left hook. Her with the left hook. Chaney, her with the left hook.
Oh!
Fernandez following it up. Stuck with left hook and almost through the ropes. Referee's got to do his job there and get in there. That could have been a knockdown. The right uppercut, left hook again. Fernandez taking his shot. Right hand lands for Fernandez. Chaney getting some defensive awareness back now, trying to stabilize himself, sticks his tongue out. I don't think he expected that coming.
No, of course he didn't.
Nope.
You know, this dude is, he has
Fernandez, long right hand over the top. Chaney tying him up some more. Fernandez taking his shot here, Shawn.
as he should. As he should.
Fernandez not with the conditioning for the time being to sustain it, but taking a deep breath, and you expect him to launch into something again as Chaney looks to stabilize and recover. Chaney does look alert and like he's recovering from that left hook.
Crazy how Polanco is so hesitant to throw a punch.
Is that not conditioning?
Yeah, it's definitely conditioning, but I think now it's not conditioning, it's just hesitant. Get right back at it.
He's got a chance to change the script here.
Yeah.
This is the biggest moment of the fight by far for either fighter.
Yeah, I think he missed that opportunity. Nice uppercut right there coming from Chaney.
Well, he might be able to make a moment like that happen again if he fights with the conviction he did to start this round.
And listen, the referee did miss a moment right there to distribute an 8 count, correct?
Yes.
That was clearly a
big
knockdown.
right hand by Chaney. Fernandez rolled some of that shot, but it got through.
You see the difference in the intensity with those punches opposed to what when Polanco had his moment?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about in terms of upping that intensity and that, punching with
I think some of the savvy of the 37-fight veteran is forcing him to take something off those shots. Fighters, when they're not accurate and they're struggling to land against a guy with some upper body movement, they start to take something off the shot to try to hit him, touch him with something.
Hey, listen, 5-0 and what is it? 5-0-1 with 5 KOs. Don't fall in love with that power, and don't think that everybody's just gonna sit down.
Good jab for Chaney.
Chaney got to do more.
Fernandez hasn't been able to follow up with anything since the first minute of the round, where could have scored a knockdown.
Right. And this is what I said. I said he just had to believe in his offense.
Yes.
And for that moment, he believed in it, but he's back to,
Well, for the viewers who are maybe wondering, why are these two enamored with the guy losing 40-36? You see now why. It was a little, big right hand in between shots for Chaney. I think that got Torito's attention a little bit. That face feint showing up again.
Yeah.
Well, certainly 4-1 now.
Listen, man, thank God for replays.
Yes, let's take a look at it.
I'm not sure if Torito is going to get another moment like he just had, but at least he has this moment right here to look back at, and it ended up being the biggest moment of either of these fighters this fight, and it clearly could have been a knockdown.
Yep,
Nice
left
uppercut.
hook.
Nice, excuse me.
Yep.
Nice hook. Good hooks right there coming from Torito. And
Followed
this
up
is
with a
how
combination.
you...
Okay, good call by the ref.
Good call?
Second look. Yeah.
All right, fine.
It was as much the bum rush as any of those combinations. Those combinations weren't really landing. We had Chaney to our back here in that sequence. No, good call.
All right, fine. Good call. Well, you know me, man. Y'all know me. I'm always about the underdog. So that was the underdog moment right there that I was loving.
Yeah, I don't think now he'll be able to sneak him like that. That's what he did. He sneaked him with that left hook a little bit.
He sneaked him.
Yeah,
you mean snuck him?
Snuck him. Sneaked him,
Snuck
snuck
him.
him. But you know, in the neighborhood, they say he sneaked him.
No, he said, well, where I'm from, this is snuck him.
Yeah. Different terminology in the West Coast than in Cleveland.
Y'all say
Oh, good right hand off the jab.
Goddamn.
Chaney looking to close strong. Fernandez ties him up along the ropes. Back to the center they go. Chaney wanting to close with his own imprint in the fight that he would seem to definitely be up ahead. 49-46, but still, after getting hurt in that fifth round, he wants some get back. He wants to close with some emphasis here.
Yeah, he's got to close with some emphasis. It's like I said before, he needs something that's going to get everybody's attention and make them feel like, hey, yeah, I'd like to see that kid again. Clean, probably the cleanest fighter we've seen tonight.
I would say Luis Garcia.
Yeah. We got this, we've seen more of him, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaney stalking him. Fernandez opens up with a right hand in exchange there, but one punch to Chaney's 5. Chaney coming forward, takes that step to the right. Now corners Fernandez, sweeps the right hand of the body. Fernandez tying up. I think is maybe content with the moment he did create. Showed why he was brought here.
That would suck if he is.
It is,
just simply content.
Chaney gets him on the ropes, touches with the right hand of the body, brings the right hand back up top. But again, Torito Fernandez slick enough to get him off. There's a jab for Chaney. Chaney cuts the distance, shortens up a few shots, but not getting the full leverage and power on that combination up top. Some of that finding a home, but Fernandez doing enough to get out of here, out of Indiana.
As you said,
in one piece.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, to me, this wasn't exactly a veteran performance of a lifetime, you know what I mean?
That'll do it. It's going to be a 59-55, I think, on all 3 cards for Brenagh Chaney. Good right hand, good slip at the bell, good combination. And he certainly wins the 6th round, certainly won 5 out of 6 rounds.
Sure.
Despite the biggest round coming from Fernandez, but 37, now 38 fight veteran from Mexico, showing why he's been a professional as long as he has. Resourceful.
Yeah. Resourceful and, you know, hey, listen, I'm going to keep it 100. Resourceful against someone who allowed them to be resourceful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, you know, when I do my broadcast, I always try to say something that I feel a fighter can go back and look at and listen to and improve from. And the thing I would tell Chaney in his corner, you guys got to work on cutting off the ring, not being content with walking somebody down, but pursue with real intention. And once you get there, be decisive with what you have coming at you, what you're going to be returning with, you know. A good fight overall, a one-sided, very lopsided victory for Chaney. But yeah, a lot that he needs to improve on, and it looks to me that he can improve, and he's got a ceiling. He's got a ceiling.
More upper body movement, right? More reps in the gym.
Yes.
On the midst of slipping shots.
Yeah.
Coming back up with combinations.
I mean, I got so much more I want to see from this kid.
Yeah.
And I'm coming back to Indianapolis. I'm sure I'm going to see him again.
Yeah.
I want to see a better version of him. I want to see higher work rate, faster punches, more powerful punches. You know what I mean? He's got some stuff to work with, but he's got to work on it. Shout out to ISC. What was that again? ISC Sports Network. They're who's streaming the fights tonight.
Yep.
They got us covered. They got a good 5 to 7 cameras out here for us and switching it up for us, man. And we're doing some big things right now. So we want to thank them for being a part of this.
Judge 1 scored this bout 59-55. The judges 2 and 3 are in agreement at 60-54. All for our winner tonight by unanimous decision and still undefeated out of the Brenagh.
260 to 54 cards. I'm not sure how they saw the fifth for Brandon Chaney, but it's all mathematical at the end of the day. 5-1, 6-0, same result.
Yeah.
One-sided fight for Brandon Chaney. Outside of that scare in the 5th round.
Yeah. Let's take it up there to Dexter in the ring.
Brandon, what was your strategy coming into tonight? Strategy was just to hold the center of the ring, work the body and break it down. You did good, man. I looked good in the 5th round. You got a lot of experience in the show.
And did this fight go the way you wanted it to tonight?
Yeah, I didn't come in here looking for a knockout. I just wanted to dominate the fight. So I went the way I wanted it to. Got some good rounds, some good experience.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our undefeated champion, Brandon "The Beast" Chaney.
Well, it's just about main event time now, Shawn. Just about main event time now. Austin Manning taking on Jonathan Perez. Austin Manning got to have the best experience in terms of pedigree that we've seen on this card, having sparred Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, Albert Bell, Robert Easter, working with Mike Stafford. Frank Martin, too, he has sparred. He's got to have the best pedigree from that sense. 2-time state champion. And again, I appreciated we both did, his vulnerability, talking to us yesterday about giving this another shot. 8-0, I felt like I left a lot on the table. I'm not exactly sure 100% until I get in there what I'm still bringing to professional boxing.
Right.
So fighting Jonathan Perez, 84 professional fight veteran. You just saw a 37 professional fight veteran, now 38.
Right.
And Fernandez give fits. to a guy who came in, wanted to get a knockout, wanted to keep going, extend his knockouts to 100% in his victories, aside from the one draw. So we'll see. We'll see. Austin Manning will see. Not just will see. He's looking to find out for himself as well. And fighters are rarely that vulnerable to tell you that. You have to put on a brave face to fight, to be a boxer.
Right. You know, we're looking at 5-0, or I'm sorry,
8-0, 5 knockouts, yes.
5 knockouts getting in the ring. Buddy's been out of the ring for 6 years. Again, shout out to is it 5 or 4? 4 champs, excuse me.
Yes.
Shout out to 4 champs promotions.
To be fair, it's Lehman and 4 other guys.
Yeah.
So I can see why you would think it was 5 champs.
Yeah. Shout out to 4 champs promotions. They're trying to build something here in Indianapolis, something that they can kind of court around the country for the sake of words. But this night, they want to build. They didn't feel like they could just come out of the blocks with the biggest and the best fights. It's a building process, so we do get an undefeated fighter with a pretty good amount of experience in the main event, and we're about to see him come to the ring now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final bout of the super lightweight division. At this time, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome to the ring, Jonathan Perez.
Started his career the month after Ricardo Torres almost knocked out Miguel Cotto in Atlantic City. The former super lightweight Colombian champion, Ricardo Torres. Perez goes back 21 years to 2005 as a professional. He started his career 12-0 with 9 knockouts. Then he wound up taking losses, taking wins, fighting around 500. He winds up winning 14 fights in a row midway through his career from 2012 to 2014. Gets all the way to 33-9.
Right.
But now 8 and, let's do the quick math. 8-34.
Yeah.
Ever since then, to now have an upside down record for the hard-hitting Colombian. Gary, Indiana, not too far from here, about 2 hours, we were told. The home of Michael Jackson, and Austin Manning coming out to Indiana's own Michael Jackson from Indianapolis. Sparred with Rasheed Warren, trained with Mike Stafford, the late Mike Stafford from Cincinnati. Couldn't always get the sparring he needed to develop himself in Indianapolis area throughout the state of Indiana. Would stay for weeks in Ohio, in some of Broner's camp, staying with Mike Stafford, Coach Stafford, who was impressed when he sparred Gervonta Davis and said, I think this kid's worth my time.
Oh, wow.
Took him under his wing. But Manning, now a warehouse worker and now a father of 3 since he last laced up the gloves as a professional. Looking to see what he has left at just still 27 years old. Wants to see if he still has another run in him under Coach Larry, his father's Larry, under Coach Walker tonight. You see his brother there behind him.
This next fight is scheduled for 6 rounds of action in the super lightweight division. Our judges oversee this fighter, David Palmer and Andrew Wolf. Our referee on this bout is Kurt Spivey. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, boxing out of the blue corner, he comes to us tonight from Brenagh, Colombia. He weighed in tonight at 136.2 pounds. Tonight he wears the red trunks trimmed in black. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jonathan Perez. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, boxing out of the red corner, he comes to us tonight from Indianapolis, Indiana. He weighed in tonight at 139.2 pounds. Tonight he wears the purple trunks trimmed in white and has a professional record of 8-0, and 5 of those wins are by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Austin Manning.
Perez is coming to win tonight as a headliner, not buried on a preliminary.
Stop hating on him, Shawn.
Or will it be like we just saw with Fernandez? Experienced, dangerous in spots, resourceful, has guile, has savvy.
I'm going to bet he's coming in here to fight. And I'll tell you why. He wouldn't have that many fights and keep fighting if that wasn't the case. I feel.
This is his 85th professional bout.
Yeah.
And just the 9th for Austin Manning. Now Manning, who has a lot of tape studies by his brother Dallas, his younger brother Dallas, says the most comparable styles to him, he likes Canelo. He likes, there's a chopping right hand over the top and a left hook. Likes himself as an aggressive fighter. Compared himself to a lot of Latin fighters in Duran and Chavez and Canelo. Father is African-American, mother of Thai descent, but likes a lot of the Mexican and Latin fighters. Oh, there's an overhand right.
Man.
2 hard body shots coming out, and down goes Perez in round 1. Manning testing his mettle right out the gate.
That was a chopping overhand right there.
Yeah.
That was a Marcos Maidana overhand right there.
Yeah. Another Latin fighter, but let's see how he follows this up in round 1. Chopping right hand over the top again. Like you said, that Maidana kind of right hand. Quick hands, sharp combinations, right uppercut there at the end. Off the left hook to the body.
Well, Shawn, this is what you talked about.
Yeah, would he come to win tonight? And I think Austin Manning made him make up his mind really quickly to KO 1. You know, Mannings tend to have success in Indianapolis.
Both of them or just one of them? Or two of them? 2 of the 3 or just...
I'd have to check the Giants' record when they came here under Eli, but I know Peyton did well, and Austin Manning just did pretty well.
Oh, nice.
I think what Austin made him do is make his mind up very quickly.
Yeah.
Made him have to make a decision to make for Jonathan Perez.
Yeah, whether or not I'm going to stay in here, huh?
Yeah. Jumped on him right away. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good. I think him and Luis Garcia tonight were our most impressive fighters by far. And that was, I'm just curious, we'll find out when our guy Dexter Smith gets up there, but he had questions about if he can still do this after 6 years off. If he had another run in him, I think he does.
He looks like it. I mean, obviously not
the level of opposition.
Yeah, I mean,
39 years old, a guy who's lost 34 of his last 42 fights.
But you're what, 27?
27, yeah.
Yeah, you're 27.
And plans on getting back down to around 130 pounds from the 140-pound division.
He truly does have a lot ahead of him. How far or how much work are you willing to put in is number 1. And then number 2, you know, are your sights set on money? Are they set on fame? Are they set on belts? You know, what's your... he's got to make some true goals and then align those goals and go for them.
My 2 cents, I think he thinks he can just really fight. I don't think he's sure. I mean, he was honest with us about how unsure he is ultimately going into this fight. But I think he thinks, I am a pro. I can fight beyond these walls of Indiana one day if I take another run at this. I've been in there with Gervonta and Leo Santa Cruz and Robert Easter. I've been in there with guys who have gotten out of this region and fought on a world level, fought at a high level, and I believe that's what brought him back to the sport. Is, you know what, I can do this. I can fight. And he looked solid tonight. He really did.
Yeah, and I think that should give him confidence upon coming back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There was the first knockdown. Again, you know, get your opponent up against the ropes and you go to the body. And then it was another body shot that ended the fight. We'll go up to the ring.
Love to hear what he says here to Dexter Smith in the post-fight, giving a thumbs up to his father over here, Larry Manning. Got to be happy with what he saw.
Austin, it's been 6 years since you fought your last match. How did tonight feel?
I'm just privileged to be back. It felt great. It felt great. It felt like I had to respect and I just trusted God.
And do you think you can make a full return to boxing with this win tonight? I feel like I can.
response. Didn't dress it up a lot, but look him in his eyes, and he believes that now. I think he believes that he can come back and make some noise in his career. Still just 27.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for joining us here for CHAMPS Promotions Midwest Boxing Showcase here at the Waka and the Square.
See his brother Dallas there with the glasses. He did a good job at the tape study. He executed everything his brother said he would. Coach Kenny Walker, his father Larry Manning, I think all happy with what Austin did tonight. He's going to need better opposition now, but this was a comeback fight after 6 years to see what he's got.
Right. Really good comeback fight after 6 years.
And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tina Cadona. It's been my pleasure to be one of your announcers. And we will be back here. Our next fight will be August 1st. Again, follow us on Facebook and all social media for CHAMPS Promotions for all the upcoming details and all the highlighted fighters on our next card. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.
Well, Austin Manning finishes the show tonight with a first-round knockout. We got a few of those tonight, including we opened with a first-round knockout by Luis Garcia, and we closed with a first-round knockout with Austin Manning. Shawn, I think those were our two most impressive fighters with the brightest futures ahead of them. Luis Garcia at 20 years old, said he was a Ryan Garcia fan. He ends his fight with a left hook to the body. And Austin Manning coming back, finishing a fight, quick combinations. Fight didn't go more than a minute, and he looked impressive. Yes, Jonathan Perez, his 85th professional fight, didn't provide any resistance. He's 39 years old. But for an Austin Manning who was wondering, can I still do this going forward at 27 after 6 years out of the ring, I think he now is telling himself, yes, I can. And I genuinely look forward to seeing what he brings to us in a future show here in Indiana. Shawn, let's start with the main event. What did you think from Austin Manning? What are realistic expectations for him returning to the sport now?
I mean, the ceiling's high for him. He's just got to get back to work. He's got to get back to a I'm a boxer mindset. Not I'm a boxer, I'm a family man, I'm a worker, a warehouse worker, and some of the other things that he's been up to recently. He's got to get back to the gym, and with the fight that just ends in one round, he's got to look at how soon can I get back. If I can get back in July and then come back in here in August, I think he needs to be willing to do that, because it's going to take that kind of work, those kind of work nights, in order for him to truly get back to where his potential is. Let's not even forget, we didn't see his true potential tonight. We didn't get any resistance from his opponent, and he didn't really get an opportunity to really feel where he's at in the ring. He just got an opportunity to get back in the ring with his headgear off and make that claim that I'm still a professional fighter. I want to see more of him, and I think he's got so much more than what we saw tonight.
You did see the pedigree, just from how sharp of a puncher he was compared to some of the other fighters we covered tonight, and how quickly he got him out of there, some of the punch selection. Again, the hand speed really and the sharpness to a number of his punches. I think it's interesting. I think of Kenneth Sims Jr., who was faced with the ultimatum Austin Manning is faced with in coming back. Kenneth was fighting to not have to work a real job. He still wanted to make it as a professional fighter. But in order to make it as a professional fighter and command the kind of purses that you can realistically take care of a family of three, you have to operate on a certain level. And so Kenneth Sims, with his back against the wall against Elvis Rodriguez, pulled off an upset, went on to headline against Arnold Barboza earlier this year, Oscar Duarte, fights that brought about six-figure purses. If Austin Manning is going to do the same, he'll have to build off of this and come back. But yeah, I think ultimately him and Luis Garcia showed a cut, a pedigree, a promise, a level of hand speed and sharpness above the rest of the card. What did you think of Luis Garcia at 20 years old, leading us off with a first-round knockout? And do you agree that those are our two brightest stars on the card tonight?
I'm looking at, I'm hoping I'm not getting this wrong, but we had Torres versus Torres.
And that one ended,
Francisco ended the fight in the first round, right?
Yes, he did.
With that nice little chopping overhand right?
He did.
Okay, I thought that was the fight, the performance of the night, if you will. You know, I thought that he looked really good. So those three guys, I think, have a lot of promise. And if I'm not mistaken, all three of those guys are coming from right here in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, those 3 guys.
Austin's come from Indianapolis. The other 2
Right.
from Fort Wayne, the gym in Fort Wayne, Eckenhart. Yes.
And then the first bout of the night, Luis Garcia, he looked good, and a lot of confidence coming from him. He said that this fight wasn't going to last long, and it was impressive to see him just stay poised and find that knockout. But overall, I thought we saw some pretty good talent tonight. The question coming in here was diamonds in the rough, and I think that remains to be seen. I don't want to be over generous, but trust and believe what we're doing here with 4 champs is going to get bigger. It's going to get better. That's been somewhat of my ideology about the PorterWay Podcast since we started this thing in 2020. We're now 2026 streaming fights live on the PorterWay Podcast. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. And again, we will be right back here in early August. 4 champs got some more for us. You got anything in closing?
I have to agree that it was a bit of an omission to leave out Francisco Torres. I think what it is he's a little bit older than Luis Garcia, the guy he sparred many rounds with and goes back with at the Fort Wayne gym. But I want to see a little bit better physical conditioning. He could be one of those guys who fights good soft, Andy Ruiz, but that's a heavyweight. Benavidez early in his career wasn't always in the best looking physical shape, but some guys fight fluid and comfortable at that weight and perform well. It's about how you perform, not always how you look. But you're right. I think Torres, along with Garcia, along with Manning, those were the 3 fighters of the night. All 3 of them ended their fights in the first round. So good point, Shawn.
And again, just real quick on Torres, I think that Torres, he looked good. He looked fluid at the weight, but he's got to bring his weight down. There's no secret in that, man. You look up, and again, someone like Benavidez, who has always been naturally big, someone like a heavyweight and Andy Ruiz, always been big. There's a difference between that and walking around at middleweight and fighting at middleweight. You're not supposed to fight where you walk around that. We all know that. He's got some work to do, but all these guys, those 3 guys, they looked, I want to use a word better than good tonight. They didn't look great. They looked in between good and great, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them.
All right, well, that's it from Indianapolis at the La Flaca at the Square here in Indianapolis. We guys hope you enjoyed this Midwest boxing showcase. We'll be back in August for another one of these Midwest boxing showcases here at the La Flaca at the Square. And for fight fans everywhere tuning into the PorterWay Podcast, we appreciate your time and watching the fight. This is the PorterWay.